Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I'm Gete. The Nigerian Army says troops have intercepted and arrested individuals who have been supplying Boko Haram terrorists with hard drugs and other stimulants. Army spokesman Colonel Sani Usman said in a statement that they were picked up between Depchi and Gaidam in the northern part of Yobe State on Tuesday. The arrested persons were also said to have been engaged in the supply of fuel in addition to hard drugs such as cannabis, chloroform substance and tramadol, amongst others. The Army says the suspects have been making useful statements. The Nigerian Army says troops involved in counter-insurgency operations are making steady progress towards clearing all Boko Haram enclaves in and around Sambisa Forest. This was contained in a statement issued on Wednesday by the Acting Director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Usman. Usman disclosed that troops are currently clearing Boko Haram hideouts around areas that had already been taken over by the army within the forest. He also reaffirms the Army's commitment towards ending insurgency and ensuring a safe and secure Nigeria in line with the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Kaduna, Kalaini Mohammed, has hailed steps taken by Buhari administration to stem the tide of corruption in Nigeria. He said at a news conference that the president had, within his first 100 days in office, revoked the licenses of 39 non-existent companies that have been milking the country dry. The APC member also commended President Buhari and his deputy for declaring their assets publicly.
President Buhari has revoked the licenses of 30 fake non-existent portfolio organizations out of 46 that own oil wells, which merely milk the country. It is noteworthy to mention that Niger Deltas are now happier because President Buhari released $20 million for the clearing of oil spillage in Ogoniland and ordered for the payment of Niger Delta militants in line with the amnesty program of the federal government that was truncated by the last administration. To crown it all, President Buhari with the Vice President have publicly declared their assets. This booster and encouragement is a move in the right direction and should be emulated by all political leaders. Another major stride of Buhari is the reinstatement of wrongfully jailed, dismissed soldiers, restructuring the actual corrupt, inefficient Directorate of State Security and the military hierarchy.
The Ministry of Power says about 948 billion naira has been spent on the sector since 1999. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Godknows Igali, disclosed this at the opening of a Senate investigative hearing on the power sector in Abuja. Igali, however, admitted that the power situation in the country is a far cry from what obtains in developed economy, in spite of the expenditure. Payasamo reports.
Days, these senators will be digging through piles of documents and hearing testimonies of the activities of the Power Ministry since the Obasanjo years. This is with a view to unearthing the challenges that have over the years hindered adequate and constant power across the country. But first, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Power, Godknows Igali, had to reel out some major setbacks from 1999 to 2015. He, however, revealed that just under 1 trillion naira was spent on the sector in the 16-year period.
The total sum appropriated for the entire power sector in the country was 1.565 638 385 735 naira. That is in summary 1.5 trillion naira. That's what was appropriated by the National Assembly. But actual total releases to the entire sector was 948, 201 and 12, 192,810. That is 948 billion naira.
Igali and other government officials also spelled out some of the challenges of government involvement in the sector until the privatization process began. He maintained that no single engineer was employed.
When democracy came back to this country in 1999, the new political dispensation inherited a sector that had not made any capital investment for long periods. In fact, the more disturbing part is the fact that not a single engineer was recruited in the power sector for almost 19 years. And this is a sector that is technology-based, knowledge-based. Not one engineer was recruited.
The senators, however, demanded more clarification on audited account from the ministry. They said a more detailed report with a comprehensive breakdown of spending in the power sector will help their cause.
So what we need and what we want as a committee is for you to submit your project costs and then your budget releases, and at the end of the day, the level of completion of that project. Some projects, a lot of course, power projects run into multi-year, they go beyond 1 year. So that is not to give us just that particular year's utilization. We also need to know at what level is that project. Is it completed? Is it ongoing? What percent? How long did it take? These are all vital information that we need. And in addition, Mr. Pamse, we also need audited accounts as well. Not only presentations that are made by you and your agencies, but we also need audited accounts.
But before closing their testimony for the day, the government officials disclosed that power generation is now at 4,600 megawatts. This, they say, is because there had been no cases of pipeline vandalism in recent times. The investigative hearing continues on Wednesday. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase has ordered an immediate clampdown on individuals or groups inciting violence and social disorder across the country. Police spokesperson Olabisi Kolawole said this in a statement issued in Abuja. She explained that the directive was in the aftermath of recent activities of members of the Movement for the Actualization of Sovereign State of Biafra, MASOP, and indigenous people of Biafra, IPOP, in some parts of the country. The Police High Command maintained that the operational order is meant to empower the police to arrest anybody fomenting any act of violence or disorder or any act inimical to the security of the nation. It, however, revealed that 22 persons have so far been arrested and will soon be charged to court. The Nigerian Army says it has uncovered plot by some foreign media, non-governmental organizations and local civil rights groups, civil society, to cast the military in bad light. This, it says, is with a view to disturbing the ongoing fight against Boko Haram in the northeast. The Army, in a statement issued on Tuesday by its spokesman, Colonel Sani Usman, revealed that the plan involves indicting of the Nigerian military of human rights abusers in the ongoing war against insurgency. But Sani insisted that the Nigerian Army is committed to upholding human rights principles and practice and will not condone any human rights violation by its personnel. It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take this break. Stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria. About lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Is it warocracy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome back. Now for more information on CoreTV News, you can reach us on our social media platforms on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV Space News. The suit instituted by dissolved local government officials in Plateau State against Governor Lalong came up for hearing at High Court 8 Bukuru in Jos, where the dismissed councillors are asking the court to restore their offices. The councillors, speaking through their counsel, Gyangzi, said the matter will have to be reassigned to another judge because the judge handling the matter will be ending his vacation soon. Our Plateau State correspondent has the details.
Although the local government chairmen have their suit withdrawn for personal reasons, the ward councillors are eagerly waiting for the next judge to handle their matter.
Basically, about the first matter that was withdrawn, which is the matter of the local government chairman, we just need to refile it so that it can be reassigned to another judge. Basically, that's just the reason.
Now, don't you think all these cases can be consolidated to be just one?
No. The parties are different, and the issues are also different. For the chairman, it's basically violation. The course of action there is violation of the order of court, while that of the councillors is violation of the Constitution and the local government council laws.
Yes, the content of the suit pending at the Federal High Court and the one that was just struck out today are one and the same. In both actions, the former chairmen were contending that they are entitled to stay in office for 3 years. And that's what made the second one an abuse of court process. We raised it, and they didn't even allow the court to rule on it. They decided on their own to withdraw the suit.
The ward councillors also queried the decision of the state chief judge in assigning the case to a vacation judge. They, however, expressed determination to see the matter to its logical end.
Technicalities issues came about in today's hearing, which we all understood that the judge, the present judge sitting in the court, Justice Longi, is a vacation judge. And vacations will be ending on the 11th, which is Friday. So for him to entertain this matter further will be, it will be counterproductive. So that's why the matter had to be taken back to the chief judge.
This issue, as far as we are concerned, councillors on the plateau, we will never get rested until justice is being done, because we are a just people and we are lawmakers, and we want to stand by the position and the side of the law. Come rain, come sunshine.
No, today what happened in the court is that we did not withdraw our case. Actually, there was a lawyer handling the case for us. He's also handling that of plastic. So we felt that it's going to be heavy on the lawyer to handle two cases, that of plastic and that of the chairman. So we brought in another lawyer. And
while the councillors are hopeful to be reinstated, residents of Plateau State are patiently waiting to see where the pendulum will swing.
Edo State Governor Adams Oshomole has terminated the appointment of 4 commissioners in the State Executive Council, according to a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Public Affairs, Prince Kazim Afegbua. On Wednesday, those affected included the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Chief Lucky James, and Commissioner for Women Affairs, Mrs. Blessing Maigida. Others are the Commissioner for Basic Education, Mr. Patrick Angwede, and the Commissioner for Energy and Water Resources, Mr. Chris Ebare. Oshiomhole, who did not give any reason for the termination of his former cabinet members, however, noted that his action was in line with government's commitment to strengthen the system towards optimal performance. The governor said their disengagement from his cabinet was with immediate effect and also directed them to hand over all government property in their possession to the permanent secretaries in the respective ministries. According to the statement, the comrade governor expressed his appreciation to the former commissioners for their services to the state and wishes them well in their future endeavors. The United Nations has handed out relief materials to internally displaced persons in Taraba State. This was done in conjunction with the State Emergency Management Agency. Udra Gunwit reports that there are over 45,000 IDPs in the state.
According to the representatives of the organizations, the non-food items are to serve as a succor for IDPs as a result of their displacement from their domains. They disclosed that the affected persons who fled insurgency in other parts of the northeast are over 50,000 and are scattered across the relatively peaceful Taraba state.
We are targeting initially 150 households today with non-food items. You can see that there are different categories of IDPs in Taraba State. We have those who are displaced because of insurgency from neighboring states, and then we have those who are displaced because of communal crisis. So this one we're initially targeting the ones that were displaced because of, insurgency in the northeast.
Because the situation is so pathetic, and with the government cannot handle it alone. That is why we have to invite other partners to partner with us to assist them. We have given them support in several ways. We have been visiting them, and when we get other partners from outside, we bring them to them so that they will partner with us to see that we meet their needs.
While distributing the items, the emergency workers expressed grief over the situation of the IDPs and expressed hope the security situation will improve soon. In accepting the gesture, the beneficiaries expressed their gratitude. My sincere appreciation goes to the UN and the state government for their support and accommodating us. Despite our numbers, may God greatly reward them.
And we pray that may God strengthen the effort of the UN and the Red Cross for their assistance and help being rendered to us.
While calling for collective prayers from Nigerians for an end to the Boko Haram insurgency, these IDPs from Borno and Adamawa states also want Nigerians to extend helping hands to them. Udra Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
Workers in Osun State may be heaving a sigh of relief as the state governor Ralph Aregbesola has announced his resolve to pay all their outstanding salary arrears before the end of the month. Governor Aregbesola disclosed this while speaking at a public event in Osogbo, the state capital. He explained that his administration is committed to the welfare of its workers and reassured that the 8-month salaries owed them will be settled before Eid el-Kabir festival. Aregbesola expressed it would be recalled that the federal government recently approved some amount of money bailout fund to assist some state government in paying their state-owned workers.
We cannot be too perfect. If you notice any hanky-panky, any mischief in payment and collection of salaries, please alert us. We are not happy by the fact that there are people who are abusing all the efforts we have put in place to check undue leakages or any leakage at all in our system.
As Nigerians join the rest of the world to mark International Literacy Day, CoreTV Netu Ilavabre takes a look at the dwindling reading culture among Nigerians. Reporters presented from our studios.
According to a United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization, a literate person is one who can both read and write with understanding. Reading serves as a means of liberating and developing individual educational efforts. Continuous exposure to literature materials, according to UNESCO, afford individuals the opportunity of inculcating values of national integration, family tradition, economic status, among others. According to UN analysis, over 776 million people lack minimum literacy skill globally. What can governments do to improve lack of reading interest among the people?
I think the government needs to do something conscious and something that makes a lot of sense. We need to change our curriculum, the educational curriculum we have in this country at this moment, and then we need to give a lot of access to people to have opportunity of coming to school, particularly the girl child. Because you find that in most environment, the girl child is the one that bears the brunt of illiteracy. And so we need to make conscious efforts, and then we need to break down barriers, which is what the government can do, dissuade people in thinking that education is wrong, or when you get educated, it takes you out of context with the society, or particularly with family, and also look at cultural situations and then make that situation better so that people understand that to be educated or to have a bit of level of literacy does not detach you from family or from culture.
The question is, what are the views of Nigerians about the dwindling reading culture in the country?
I could see my little cousin. I used to underrate him. I mean, he's barely 6 years old, and I gave him a test. I got the shocker of my life. I gave him a full page note to read, and I got a serious shocker. He'll be 6 next month. I mean, at my time, I can't even boast I could read at that age.
No, really. Because even from school, afterwards when they go to school and they come back, many parents are not at home to even be with them to encourage them. Many are with housemates, maybe their grandparents or somebody else. It is mostly the rich that have teachers coming in.
Formerly, in the public school, it has increased now because of the kind of government that we have now that are serious about education. But in the private sector, it has reduced. Why? Yeah, because most of the private sector, they go into the educational system because they want to make money.
Basically, I believe that we can still go a long way to improve our reading culture by trying to streamline and guide our kids, our youth, into reading effective materials that would, that will impact their life positively. But in the total sense of it, I believe the reading culture has improved a bit.
Nigerians like reading, and they would really love to read if they are being encouraged to read. By giving a conducive environment, they will actually read.
Most times you see them with on social media, with phone and other stuff. They don't read these days like our days.
As Nigerians continue to blame the rising influence of social media for the poor reading culture in the country, suggestions to government are a review of existing school curriculum to make room for compulsory reading among students and tapping into the positive potentials of the social media as a way of regulating the reading culture across the country.
Integrity is an essential part of growing any business, and this virtue will ensure the survival of any business venture, even in tough economic times. This was the thrust of the 2015 annual lecture organized by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria in Lagos. The lecture, which has the theme Inspiring Leadership, focused on integrity and corporate governance as key challenges in holding a balanced and sustainable business. Emmanuel Ajayi was there. He filed in this report.
Leadership is the key to business growth. It is in this slide that the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, Ikeja chapter, organized our 2015 annual lecture with the theme Inspiring Leadership. The Ikeja chapter chairman Ifeoma wants to emphasize on the importance of leadership in any given establishment.
When we know that we have an inspiring leader, what makes a leader inspiring is when the leader inculcates integrity in his style of leadership above all things. So when we have an integrity-driven leadership, then the leader is inspiring.
For his part, the former Nigerian High Commissioner to the UK, Christopher Kolade, affirmed that any business running without integrity and corporate governance will not stand the test of time. And with the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, the imports of integrity cannot be thrown in the trash.
There is nothing about corporate governance, about integrity, about anything like that, that human beings cannot practice. The lady that was recognized there today for returning those monies that she discovered, she is an ordinary human being like all of us. But from inside her, there is something that said, you have to be faithful, you have to be honest. Those are values that everybody can practice.
I'm particularly happy at this particular point in time, which is a defining moment for us in our country, where we have made a significant change in leadership. And what's significant about it is that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, the people have made their voices heard, and they have elected a leader of their choice. And one of the key drivers was ethics, and one of the key drivers was integrity.
Some of these participants have this to say.
Before now, people see corporate governance as a core responsibility of leadership, but definitely it is more established in today's talk that it's all encompassing. It's cross across the organization, it's passed across each level, and we all have to take responsibility for our actions.
Integrity, honesty, and being straightforward in whatever you're doing as a HR person.
As an excellent example that integrity pays after all, a former cleaner at the Muritala Mohammed Airport, Blessing Ugo, who returned the missing sum of 12,050,000 naira and who was commended, believed that her act was the right way to go.
If I follow how my family be, I'll took it. But the way they train me, no matter I was 80 months, my parents died. Both my father and my mother died. But the way my stepmother trained me, I should not take anything is not belong to me. That anything God give me, I should take it like that. So that's why since I was born, I've never picked anything is not belong to me.
And as businesses changes through government policies that seeks to promote integrity and corporate governance, it is hoped that integrity will further ensure sustainable growth and by extension a boost to the nation's economy. Emmanuel Ajayi, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break. When we return, we'll go outside Nigeria, business and sports. Stay with us.
Is it what crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is, that will bring our military to the secret. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday. We bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Kenyan police on Tuesday arrested 3 people with improvised explosive device, which they had tried to sneak into an upmarket shopping mall in the capital, Nairobi. Nairobi's Kasarani Divisional Police Commander Robin Mboloi said the private security guards discovered the devices while screening one of the visitors to the Garden City Mall located in the outskirts of the capital. It said the 3:30 p.m. incident caused panic among the shoppers in the high-end mall, which featured 33,000 square meters of retail space, apartments, and a 3-hectare central park. Mboloi said a man below 50s was arrested along with 2 suspects, whom the police believe are his accomplices. He said bomb experts were later called in and successfully detonated devices which could have caused a lot of damage. The mall, which hosts local and international brands, including South Africa's retailer Massmart, opened its doors to shoppers in July. Lufthansa strike. A German regional court ordered a pilot at Lufthansa Airlines to halt their strike on Wednesday, ruling that the industrial action was illegal. Some 140,000 passengers had been grounded by the 2-day walkout called by pilots' union Verein Cockpit in a bitter dispute over changes to retirement plans. Plane crashes. A British Airlines flight caught fire on the runway at the Las Vegas airport on Tuesday, sending 13 people to local hospital for treatment. Clark County Fire Department Deputy Chief John Klassen confirms that a majority of the injuries came as passengers slid down the inflammable chute to evacuate the Boeing 777, according to the Maracay International Airport. The incident occurred shortly after 4 p.m. and involved British Airlines Flight 2276, which was bound for London's Gatwick Airport. And now to sports. Serena Williams overcame her sister Venus at the U.S. Open to move within 2 victories of her first calendar Grand Slam. The world #1 held her nerve to win 6-2, 1-6, 6-3 and reach the semi-finals in New York. Serena, 33, will play on seeded Italian Roberta Vinci and the last 4 on Thursday. The American could become the first player to win all 4 majors in the same year since Steffi Graf in 1988. Venus, 35, was playing in the 4th round of Flushing Meadows for the first time since 2010, but threatened to detail her sister's grand ambitions. The 23rd seed battled back to force a final set, only to see younger sister Serena capitalize on an early service break and claim her 33rd straight win at the Slams. Top seed Novak Djokovic will play defending champions Marin Cilic in the U.S. Open semi-finals on Friday. Djokovic, 28, beat Spanish 18th seed Feliciano Lopez 6-1, 3-6, 6-3, 7-6, 7-2 in a sweltering New York night session. The Serb unleashed an angry tirade towards his player box after the second set, but finally prevailed at 1 local time. Croatia's Cilic withstood Joe Wilfred Tsonga fireback to win 6-4, 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 6-4 on a sweltering day at Flushing Meadows. Djokovic and Lopez were still suffering in 27th C and 66 humidity at midnight came and went. Djokovic had dominated the opening set, but was then furious at dropping the second, thumping his racket on his bag at the changeover. Wayne Rooney has expressed his delight at reaching the milestone of becoming England's all-time leading goal scorer. The Manchester United striker was quoted as saying the moment was a dream come true to break Bobby Charlton's England goal scoring record and set his straight on adding to his total. The 29-year-old Manchester United striker penalty in the 2-0 win over Switzerland in Euro 2016 qualifier took his Italy to 50 goals. Hull City midfielder Jack Livermore will not be banned after testing positive for cocaine. A 25-year-old was suspended by the Football Association and his club in May after failing a drug test pending the outcome of a disciplinary hearing. The England international, who faced a possible 2-year ban, tested positive after the death of his newborn child. A disciplinary hearing took place last week at which it was decided Livermore would not be suspended. And that's our news for this hour. Thank you so much for staying on with us. Please join us again. I am Get. Good evening.